So now we're going to move on to our very first coding problem. So in this problem, we can see that what they want us to do is remove the very first instance of some given x character. And so we see from this very first doc test that our first instance of b is here, we remove it, and then we keep this set like every other instance that we see of b. So we see that also we're given this resx list, and then eventually we return that resx list. So my thinking is we're probably going to have to iterate through the entire list S of list of characters S, right? And then check every time to see if we find our very first instance of some character X. So why don't we start with the for loop? So for character in S, right, we're going to want to check. And so every time we know we're going to put something back into result as long as it's X doesn't match or X isn't equal to character, right? So as long as character is not equal to X, I'm going to be adding X into resx. Or no, sorry, not X. Character. Yeah, X is not going to change. Cool. So now we need to deal with the case that character is equal to X, right? So if character is equal to X, we want to cut out that character and then just give the rest of the list, right? So we can just we can slice our list such that we get all the rest of the list except what we like the character that we're at, right? But since I did this kind of for loop, right, I don't have an index that I can slice to, right? So if I want to be able to slice, I need an index to slice. So I'm actually probably going to have to change how I did this problem. So instead of doing for character in S, I probably want to do some index for some index in range of length of S, right? And this allows me to grab an index of each time, and then the moment I see some character, I can increment the index and slice from there, right? So I also have to change this case. So if S of I is not equal to X, then I'll want to add S of I onto the resx list. Else, I want to slice, right? So now since I have the index, I can simply increment the index and slice from there and add the rest of the list onto resx and then return.